The No 0 Days Method, the simple rule that will change your life, written and published by Elevate Book. How to take action every day and transform your life with a single powerful habit. Introduction: the power of taking action every day. Why this book matters. Imagine waking up every day with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that no matter how small the step, you are moving forward. This book is about breaking free from the cycle of stagnation and self-doubt by committing to one simple rule: No 0 days. A No 0 day means that every single day, no matter how busy, unmotivated, or exhausted you feel, you take at least one small action toward your goals. Whether it's reading one page, writing one sentence, or taking one deep breath to reset, every small action counts. This philosophy is life-changing because it removes the pressure of perfection and replaces it with progress. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, you take action every single day. This book will guide you through scientific research, historical examples, personal development strategies, and practical exercises to help you implement the No 0 Days method into your life. What you will learn in this book. This book is not about wishful thinking or empty motivational speeches. It is about actionable change. Here is what you will gain from reading this book. A deep understanding of the No 0 Days philosophy and why it works. Strategies to overcome procrastination and self-doubt. How to build unstoppable momentum and make success inevitable. Psychological and scientific insights on habit formation and discipline. How to set meaningful goals and achieve them step by step. Real-life examples, historical references, and case studies of people who transformed their lives using this mindset. Practical exercises and daily challenges to help you take action immediately. By the time you finish this book, you will no longer be stuck waiting for the perfect moment. You will already be moving forward. No more 0 days. Chapter 1. The No 0 Days Philosophy. Introduction. The first step to change. Picture this. You wake up feeling unmotivated. You have dreams, ambitions, and goals, but they feel so distant that starting seems impossible. You tell yourself, I'll begin tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, another year has passed without progress. Now imagine an alternative version of this story. You wake up and do one small thing, just one action that moves you forward. Maybe it's writing a sentence, doing a single push-up, or reading a single paragraph from a book. It seems insignificant at first, but over time, this tiny act of progress compounds. This is the core of the No 0 Days philosophy. The idea that you never let a day go by without making progress toward your goals, no matter how small. This simple rule has transformed lives, pulling people out of ruts, breaking cycles of procrastination, and fueling incredible success stories. This chapter explores the origin of No 0 Days. Why small daily actions create unstoppable momentum. The science behind consistency and habit formation. How to break free from all-or-nothing thinking. Real-life examples of people who transformed their lives with this mindset. Practical exercises to implement this strategy in your own life. By the end of this chapter, you will understand why the No 0 Days mindset is so powerful and how to start applying it immediately. The origin of the No 0 Days philosophy. The No 0 Days method originated from an inspiring Reddit post in 2013. A user named Ryan responded to someone struggling with motivation and depression. His response was simple yet powerful. A No 0 Day is when you make sure that you do something, anything, to move forward every single day. Even if it's just one push-up, one sentence, one small action, it counts. This advice resonated with thousands of people. The concept is simple. Never let a single day go by without doing something that brings you closer to your goals. Even the smallest effort counts. Ryan's advice sparked a movement, helping people overcome inertia and develop unstoppable momentum. Why this concept works. Most people believe that success requires massive effort, but the truth is, tiny actions, when done consistently, create the biggest results. Think of it like compounding interest in a bank account. If you deposit a small amount every day, it may not seem like much at first, but over time, your balance grows exponentially. The same applies to your habits, skills, and success. Real-life example. How Jerry Seinfeld used this method to become a comedy legend. One of the most famous applications of the no 0 days concept comes from comedian Jerry Seinfeld. When he was starting his career, he made a rule. Every single day, he had to write at least one joke. He tracked his progress using a simple calendar. Each day he wrote a joke, he marked an X on the calendar. His goal? Never break the chain. The result? He became one of the most successful comedians of all time. The lesson here is clear. Consistency beats intensity. The science behind small, daily progress. Many people mistakenly believe that progress only happens through huge breakthroughs. However, scientific research proves that tiny, consistent actions are the real key to success. 1. The power of neuroplasticity. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use certain neural pathways, the stronger they become. This concept is called neuroplasticity. When you take action every day, your brain rewires itself to make that action easier. Small, repeated behaviors form habits, making success automatic over time. This is why starting small is so effective. Even tiny progress strengthens the pathways needed for long-term success. 2. The psychology of progress and motivation. Have you ever felt completely stuck, unable to take action? This happens because of psychological inertia, the tendency to stay in a state of inaction unless something forces a change. However, research in behavioral psychology shows that small wins increase motivation and make bigger steps feel easier. This is why the no 0 days method works. It creates a sense of progress every day. A 2011 study from Harvard Business School found that small daily progress is the single most important factor in keeping people motivated. The more small wins you achieve, the more momentum you build. 3. The compound effect. How tiny actions create big results. The compound effect, a concept popularized by Darren Hardy, states that small daily actions lead to exponential results over time. Example: the 1% rule. Imagine improving by just 1% every day. It seems insignificant at first, but mathematically, if you improve by 1% daily, you will be 37 times better after 1 year. If you decline by 1% daily, you will lose 97% of your potential in the same time frame. This means that even the smallest effort matters more than you think. Breaking the cycle of all-or-nothing thinking. Many people fail to take action because they believe if they can't do something perfectly, they shouldn't do it at all. This perfectionist mindset is one of the biggest killers of progress. The no 0 days method eliminates this trap by encouraging any progress, no matter how small. Mindset shift from perfection to progress. Instead of thinking, I have to do a full workout today, or it's pointless. I have to write an entire chapter, or it doesn't count. If I can't do it perfectly, I might as well do nothing. Start thinking. Even one push-up is better than none. Even one sentence is still progress. Small actions done daily lead to big results. The key is to focus on momentum, not perfection. Practical exercise. Your first no 0 day. Now that you understand the power of small actions, it's time to put it into practice. Step 1. Identify a goal. Pick one goal you want to achieve. It could be improving your health, learning a new skill, building a habit like journaling or meditation. Step 2. Choose a tiny action. Now, pick the smallest possible action you can take today. Want to get fit? Do one push-up. Want to write a book? Write one sentence. Want to read more? Read one paragraph. Step 3. Commit to one action today. No excuses. Right now, before the day ends, take one small action. This is your first no 0 day. Remember, progress is progress, no matter how small. Conclusion. The first step to a new life. The no 0 days philosophy is simple but life-changing. By committing to taking at least one small step every day, you will break free from procrastination, build momentum effortlessly, rewire your brain for success, achieve more than you ever thought possible. Your journey starts today. Take one small action now, because one step forward is always better than standing still. Chapter 2. The Science of Momentum. Introduction. Why momentum is the key to success. Think about the last time you accomplished something meaningful. Did you suddenly wake up one day and achieve it all at once? Or did it start with a small step, which led to another, and then another? Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they lose momentum. Momentum is the invisible force behind every success story. It's what makes habits stick, what turns small wins into big victories, and what keeps you moving forward even when motivation fades. This chapter will explore the science behind momentum and why it matters, how tiny actions create exponential results, the physics of progress, why starting is the hardest part, how to build unstoppable momentum and sustain it, real-life examples of people who used momentum to achieve greatness, practical exercises to create momentum in your own life. By the end of this chapter, you will understand why momentum is more important than motivation, and you'll know exactly how to build it. The science of momentum. Why small steps lead to big success. Momentum isn't just a concept, it's backed by science. 1. Newton's first law of motion. Why starting is the hardest part. Physics teaches us an important lesson about momentum through Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by an external force. This applies to our habits, routines, and success in the same way. When you're stuck in inaction, it feels almost impossible to start. But once you begin moving, continuing becomes effortless. Example, the power of the first step. Imagine pushing a heavy boulder. At first, it feels impossible to move. But once you get it rolling, it becomes easier and easier to keep going. The same applies to your goals. The hardest part is starting, but once you take action, momentum takes over. 2. The Zeigarnik effect. Why your brain wants to finish what it starts. Psychologists have discovered a phenomenon called the Zeigarnik effect, which explains why unfinished tasks stay on your mind. When you start something, your brain feels a natural urge to complete it. This is why starting small is so powerful. It triggers your brain to keep going. Real-life application. How writers use momentum. Many best-selling authors, including Ernest Hemingway, use this trick. Instead of stopping at the end of a chapter, Hemingway would leave his work unfinished on purpose. That way, his brain would be eager to pick up where he left off the next day. You can use the same strategy in your own life. Start small and let your brain's natural momentum take over. How to build unstoppable momentum. Now that you understand why momentum is so powerful, let's explore how to build and maintain it in your own life. 1. The 2-minute rule. How to make starting effortless. One of the most effective strategies for building momentum is the 2-minute rule, popularized by productivity expert James Clear. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. This simple rule eliminates procrastination and mental resistance. Example. How to use the 2-minute rule. Want to start working out? Do 1 push-up. Want to write a book? Write 1 sentence. Want to start reading? Read 1 paragraph. The key is that small actions lead to bigger actions. Once you start, you're far more likely to keep going. 2. The 3-day rule. Never miss more than 2 days. Momentum is fragile. The moment you break a habit, it becomes harder to restart. That's why many success experts follow the 3-day rule. If you miss 1 day, don't worry. If you miss 2 days, still recoverable. Never let yourself miss 3 days in a row. This simple rule prevents backsliding and keeps momentum alive. Example. How athletes use the 3-day rule. Professional athletes follow a similar principle. Even on their off days, they do some form of training, even if it's just stretching or visualization. This keeps their mind and body in active mode and prevents losing momentum. You can apply the same rule to your own goals. If you miss a workout, do at least a 2-minute stretch. If you miss writing, jot down a quick idea for later. If you miss reading, skim through a short article. By doing something, you ensure that your momentum never fully stops. 3. The habit stacking technique. How to make progress automatic. Momentum becomes effortless when you attach new habits to existing ones. This is called habit stacking, a method proven by behavioral scientists. How to use habit stacking. Instead of forcing yourself to create new habits from scratch, link them to something you already do. Examples. After brushing your teeth, do 5 push-ups. Before drinking your morning coffee, write 1 sentence. When you get into bed, read 1 page of a book. By anchoring new habits to old ones, momentum builds naturally. Real-life stories. How Momentum Transforms Lives. 1. The story of J.K. Rowling, from struggling single mom to literary icon. Before she became a best-selling author, J.K. Rowling was struggling. She was a single mother, battling depression and barely making ends meet. But instead of giving up, she wrote every single day, even if it was just a few paragraphs. Over time, this small effort built unstoppable momentum, and she eventually created Harry Potter, one of the most successful book series in history. Lesson: tiny daily actions can lead to life-changing success. Practical exercise: your momentum plan. Now, it's time to take action. Step 1. Choose a goal. Pick a goal you want to build momentum for. Step 2. Pick a small action. Identify the smallest possible step you can take today. Step 3. Use the 2-minute rule. Do something so small that you can't fail. Step 4. Use the 3-day rule. Never let yourself miss more than 2 days in a row. Step 5. Stack it onto an existing habit. Attach your new habit to something you already do daily. Example: if you want to start writing, Day 1. Write 1 sentence after breakfast. Day 2. Write 2 sentences. Day 3. Write a short paragraph. By week 4, you'll have pages of content, all from small steps. Conclusion: the power of momentum. Momentum is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's more important than motivation, because once you start, progress becomes effortless. Your challenge for today: take one tiny action right now. Start building momentum today, and never stop moving forward. Chapter 3. Overcoming Procrastination and Resistance. Introduction. Why do we procrastinate? Picture this. You have an important task to do, something that could change your life for the better. You know you should do it. You even want to do it. But instead of taking action, you scroll through your phone, watch another episode of your favorite show, or convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow. Procrastination is not just laziness. It's a deeply ingrained psychological mechanism that affects even the most ambitious and hardworking people. But here's the good news. It's 100% beatable. This chapter will explore the real reasons why we procrastinate. It's not what you think. The science of resistance and why our brains fight change. How to outsmart your brain and take action immediately. Proven techniques to break free from procrastination. Real-life success stories of people who conquered resistance. Step-by-step exercises to help you start right now. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand your procrastination triggers, know how to break through resistance, and have a toolbox of strategies to take action, no matter what. The psychology of procrastination. Why we delay important tasks. Procrastination is not about laziness or lack of discipline. It's about how our brains are wired. 1. The instant gratification trap. Our brains have 2 competing systems. The rational brain, prefrontal cortex, this part of your brain is responsible for long-term planning, discipline, and decision-making. The emotional brain, limbic system, this part of your brain seeks comfort, pleasure, and avoidance of discomfort. When you face a difficult task, your rational brain knows it's important, but your emotional brain wants to avoid discomfort. This is why we procrastinate. We choose short-term comfort over long-term progress. Example: you need to exercise, but watching Netflix is easier and more pleasurable. You want to write a book, but scrolling social media feels effortless. You should start a business, but the fear of failure makes you delay. The solution? Train your brain to embrace discomfort and take action anyway. 2. The perfectionism trap. Why we fear imperfection. Many people procrastinate because they believe their work isn't good enough. This is called perfection paralysis. The belief that if you can't do something perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. Real-life example. How Stephen Pressfield beat perfectionism. Author Stephen Pressfield struggled with writing for years because he feared it wouldn't be good enough. He called this inner resistance the war of art, a daily battle between creation and self-doubt. His solution? Write badly, but write anyway. He learned that the only way to create great work is to start, even if it's imperfect. How to overcome perfection paralysis. Accept that your first draft, workout, or attempt will not be perfect, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to be bad at something before you get good at it. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. How to outsmart your brain and take action immediately. Now that you understand why you procrastinate, here's how to break free and take immediate action. 1. The 5-second rule. Stop thinking and start doing. Best-selling author Mel Robbins discovered a simple trick to beat procrastination. If you have an impulse to act on a goal, count backward, 5-4-3-2-1, then move immediately. Why does this work? It interrupts negative thoughts before your brain has time to talk you out of it. It forces you to take action before fear sets in. Example: how to apply the 5-second rule. Need to work out? 5-4-3-2-1. Stand up and do a jumping jack. Need to study? 5-4-3-2-1. Open your book. Need to make a phone call? 5-4-3-2-1. Dial the number. Action destroys procrastination. The moment you act, you regain control. 2. The 2-minute rule. Trick yourself into starting. Procrastination thrives on overwhelm. When a task feels too big, we avoid it. The 2-minute rule solves this by making tasks so easy that starting becomes effortless. If a task feels overwhelming, break it down into a version that takes 2 minutes or less. Example: how to use the 2-minute rule. Instead of write a 1,000-word article, write 1 sentence. Instead of exercise for an hour, do 1 push-up. Instead of read a whole book, read 1 paragraph. Once you start, you'll likely keep going. 3. The 80-20 rule. Focus on what truly matters. Not all tasks are equally important. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle, states that 80% of results come from 20% of actions. Instead of trying to do everything, focus on the few tasks that create the biggest impact. Example: how to apply the 80-20 rule. Business: 80% of revenue comes from 20% of clients. Focus on them. Fitness: 80% of results come from 20% of workouts. Prioritize them. Productivity: 80% of meaningful work comes from 20% of tasks. Do those first. By identifying your most important actions, you can eliminate distractions and make faster progress. Real-life stories. People who overcame procrastination. 1. The story of Tim Ferriss. How he became a best-selling author. Before he wrote The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss struggled with procrastination. He would start projects and abandon them halfway through. His breakthrough came when he used the 2-minute rule and the 80-20th rule to prioritize his work. Instead of trying to write a perfect book, he focused on writing just 2 crappy pages a day. Over time, this small daily progress built momentum, and he finished his book, which became a #1 bestseller. Lesson: tiny steps destroy procrastination and lead to massive success. Practical exercise. Beat procrastination today. Let's apply what you've learned. Step 1. Identify a task you're avoiding. What's one thing you've been putting off? Write it down. Step 2. Apply the 2-minute rule. Break the task down into the smallest possible action. Step 3. Use the 5-second rule. Count 5-4-3-2-1 and do it now. Step 4. Apply the 80-20 rule. Ask yourself, what's the one small action that will make the biggest impact? Do that first. Conclusion: action is the cure for procrastination. Procrastination is a habit, but so is taking action. Every time you beat procrastination, you retrain your brain for success. Your challenge for today: pick one thing you've been putting off and do it right now. No 0 days. No excuses. Just action. Chapter 4. Building an Unstoppable Mindset. Introduction. Why mindset matters more than anything else. Imagine 2 people facing the same challenge. One gives up, overwhelmed by fear and doubt. The other pushes through, learning from setbacks and growing stronger. What makes the difference? Mindset. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you achieve in life. It determines how you respond to failure, setbacks, and obstacles. This chapter will explore the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, how to rewire your brain for resilience and confidence, the role of self-talk and how to silence self-doubt, how to turn failures into stepping stones for success, real-life stories of people who overcame massive obstacles with mindset shifts, practical exercises to strengthen your mindset every day. By the end of this chapter, you will know how to think like the most successful people in the world and, more importantly, how to act on it. Fixed versus growth mindset, the mindset that determines success. Dr. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, discovered that people fall into two main mindset categories. 1. Fixed mindset, the belief that abilities are limited. Believes that talent is fixed. You either have it or you don't. Avoids challenges for fear of failure. Gives up easily when things get hard. Sees effort as pointless if success isn't guaranteed. 2. Growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed. Believes that skills and intelligence can be improved with effort. Sees challenges as opportunities to grow. Embraces failures as learning experiences. Understands that consistent effort leads to success. Real-life example. How Michael Jordan developed a growth mindset. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history, was cut from his high school team because he wasn't good enough. Instead of seeing this as proof that he would never succeed, he used it as fuel to train harder than ever. His growth mindset turned him into a 6-time NBA champion, proving that success is built on effort, learning, and resilience. How to rewire your brain for confidence and resilience. The good news? Your mindset is not permanent. With neuroplasticity, your brain can reprogram itself, making resilience and confidence your default state. Here's how to do it. 1. Reframe failure as feedback. Most people fear failure because they see it as proof that they are not good enough. But failure is not final, it is feedback. Example. How Thomas Edison used failure to succeed. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times while inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he replied, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Mindset shift. Every failure brings you closer to success. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? What's the next step forward?" 2. Upgrade your self-talk. Stop being your own worst enemy. The way you talk to yourself shapes your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't do this," your brain believes it. How to reprogram negative self-talk. Instead of, "I'm terrible at this," say, "I am learning and improving every day." Instead of, "I always fail," say, "Every setback is a stepping stone to success." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," say, "I have everything I need to succeed inside me." Action step. Every morning, write down one positive belief about yourself. Repeat it until it becomes your reality. 3. Visualize success. Train your brain to win. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an imagined one. Elite athletes, CEOs, and performers use visualization to train their minds for success before it happens. How to use visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving your goal. See every detail, where you are, how you feel, who is with you. Feel the pride and excitement of success. By doing this, your brain begins to believe in your ability, making you more likely to take action. How to turn obstacles into strength. Life will always throw challenges your way. The difference between success and failure is how you respond. 1. The 10x rule. Do more than expected. Author Grant Cardone teaches the 10x rule, the idea that most people underestimate how much effort success requires. If you expect a goal to take 1 year, plan for 10 years of effort. If you think you need to make 10 sales calls, make 100 instead. By overcommitting to effort, you remove excuses and make success inevitable. 2. Adopt the "what's next" mindset. When something doesn't go as planned, don't dwell on it. Ask, "What's next?" This simple question shifts your brain from self-pity to problem-solving. Example. How Oprah Winfrey used this mindset. Oprah was fired from her first TV job and told she was unfit for television. Instead of giving up, she focused on what was next and became one of the most influential people in the world. The lesson? Rejection is redirection. Real-life stories. People who built an unstoppable mindset. 1. Elon Musk. How he overcame multiple failures. Elon Musk was rejected by Netscape, nearly went bankrupt, and had multiple rocket explosions with SpaceX. Instead of quitting, he kept going. Today, he runs Tesla, SpaceX, and several other billion-dollar companies. Lesson. Resilience is the ultimate competitive advantage. Practical exercise. Strengthen your mindset today. Step 1. Identify a limiting belief. Write down one negative belief you have about yourself. Step 2. Reframe it. Rewrite it as a positive statement. Step 3. Take a small action. Prove your new belief by taking one small action today. Example. Limiting belief. I'm not good enough to start my own business. Reframe. I can learn and improve my skills over time. Action. Read one article about entrepreneurship today. Every time you take action, your new belief becomes stronger. Conclusion. Your mindset is your superpower. A strong mindset is more valuable than talent, intelligence, or luck. It is the difference between quitting and persevering, between fear and courage, between failure and success. Your challenge for today: identify one negative belief, reframe it, and take one action to prove it wrong. Because your mindset is your greatest weapon. Use it wisely. Chapter 5. Mastering Discipline and Consistency. Introduction. Why motivation is overrated and discipline is the real key. How often have you felt motivated to start something, only to lose momentum a few days later? Motivation is temporary. It fades. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It is the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it. This chapter will explore why motivation is unreliable and how discipline is built, the habits of highly disciplined people, how to eliminate distractions and stay focused, the power of routines, and how to make consistency effortless. Real-life examples of people who mastered discipline and changed their lives. Practical exercises to develop discipline and maintain consistency. By the end of this chapter, you will have a step-by-step system for staying disciplined and consistent, no matter what. Why motivation is unreliable and what to do instead. Most people believe success depends on feeling motivated, but the truth is, motivation is fleeting. It is based on emotion, and emotions change. 1. The problem with relying on motivation. Some days you feel inspired, so you take action. Other days you don't feel like it, so you procrastinate. This cycle leads to inconsistency and failure. Highly successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. How to build unshakable discipline. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you train. Here's how. 1. The rule of identity. Think like a disciplined person. Your actions are driven by how you see yourself. If you see yourself as lazy, you will act lazy. If you see yourself as disciplined, you will act disciplined. Action step. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, say, I am a disciplined person. This mental shift reprograms your brain to take disciplined actions automatically. 2. The power of tiny habits. Discipline is not about huge, overwhelming effort. It's about small, consistent habits. Example. The Seinfeld strategy comedian Jerry Seinfeld became one of the best in the world by using a simple habit. He wrote one joke every single day. He marked an X on a calendar each day he did it. His goal? Never break the chain. Over time, these tiny daily efforts built unstoppable momentum. How to apply this? Want to write a book? Write one sentence a day. Want to exercise? Do one push-up a day. Want to learn a language? Study for 1 minute a day. The key is consistency. Small actions lead to big results. 3. Make it easier to succeed and harder to fail. Most people struggle with discipline because they make success too difficult and failure too easy. How to make success easier? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep a water bottle on your desk to stay hydrated. Place a book where you can see it, so you remember to read. By removing obstacles, you make discipline effortless. How to make failure harder? Delete social media apps that distract you. Block websites that waste your time. Put your phone in another room while working. Make bad habits inconvenient, and discipline becomes natural. 4. The 80-20 rule. Focus on what matters most. Not all actions are equally important. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle, states that 80% of results come from 20% of actions. Example. How to apply the 80-20 rule. Fitness. 80% of results come from consistently exercising and eating well. Business. 80% of success comes from a few key clients or projects. Learning. 80% of knowledge comes from a few important books or mentors. By identifying your most impactful actions, you can be disciplined where it matters most. How to stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline only works if you are consistent. Here's how to stay on track. 1. Use the never miss twice rule. Everyone misses a day sometimes. That's normal. The key is to never miss 2 days in a row. Example: if you skip a workout today, make sure you do it tomorrow. If you miss writing one day, write at least one sentence the next day. This prevents small failures from turning into long-term inconsistency. 2. Habit stacking. Attach new habits to existing routines. The easiest way to stay disciplined is to attach new habits to things you already do. How to use habit stacking. After brushing your teeth, do 5 push-ups. Before drinking your morning coffee, write 1 sentence. When you sit down at your desk, spend 1 minute planning your day. By linking new habits to old ones, consistency becomes automatic. 3. The 1-week challenge. Commit to 7 days of consistency. If staying disciplined long-term feels overwhelming, start small. Choose one habit: writing, exercising, waking up early. Commit to doing it every day for 1 week. No excuses. No 0 days. After 1 week, you'll have built momentum, making it easier to continue. Real-life stories. People who mastered discipline. 1. The story of David Goggins. From overweight to ultramarathon champion, David Goggins was once 300 pounds, depressed, and stuck in a dead-end job. One day, he decided to change. He committed to a relentless routine of running, weightlifting, and discipline. Despite incredible challenges, he became a Navy SEAL, ultra-endurance athlete, and best-selling author. His secret? He stopped relying on motivation and built a system of unshakable discipline. Lesson: discipline creates unbreakable resilience. Practical exercise. Build discipline today. Step 1. Pick one small habit. Choose one habit to build discipline: exercise, writing, learning. Step 2. Use the never miss twice rule. Commit to doing it every day. But if you miss one day, never miss twice. Step 3. Make it easy. Simplify your habit so it's impossible to fail. Example: instead of planning a 1-hour workout, commit to doing 1 push-up. You'll probably do more. Conclusion: discipline is the key to success. Motivation will fade, but discipline will carry you through. The people who succeed are not the ones who feel like working every day. They are the ones who show up, no matter what. Your challenge for today: pick one habit and commit to it for 1 week. No 0 days. No excuses. Just action. Chapter 6. The No 0 Days Method in Action. Introduction. Turning theory into action. By now, you understand the power of small daily actions, momentum, discipline, and consistency. But knowledge alone isn't enough. The real transformation happens when you apply the No 0 Days method to your life, goals, and daily habits. This chapter will explore how to implement No 0 Days in different areas of life: health, career, personal growth, relationships, creativity. How to build a No 0 Days routine that guarantees success. Real-life examples of people who use this method to change their lives. Practical exercises to integrate this method into your daily life. By the end of this chapter, you will have a clear action plan to make No 0 Days your new way of living. How to apply No 0 Days in different areas of life. The No 0 Days method works in every area of life because it is based on consistent progress. Let's break it down into 5 key areas. 1. No 0 Days for health and fitness. The biggest mistake people make with fitness is trying to do too much at once, instead of overhauling your entire diet overnight, jumping into a 2-hour gym routine after years of inactivity, setting impossible weight loss goals. Start small and build momentum. How to use No 0 Days for fitness. Do 1 push-up today. Tomorrow, you'll likely do more. Walk for 5 minutes. Over time, increase it gradually. Drink 1 extra glass of water. Tiny habits lead to big health improvements. Example: the story of James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. James Clear was once out of shape and struggling to build healthy habits. Instead of forcing himself into extreme routines, he focused on tiny improvements every day: 1 workout, 1 healthier meal, one small step at a time. Years later, he became one of the most influential voices in habit formation and personal growth. The lesson? Small, daily health actions compound into life-changing results. 2. No 0 days for career and business. Success in your career or business isn't about one big breakthrough. It's about consistent effort over time. How to use no 0 days for career growth. Write one email to a potential client or employer today. Read one page of a business or self-improvement book. Improve one small part of your resume, portfolio, or skills. Network with one new person. Opportunities come from connections. Example: how Elon Musk built Tesla and SpaceX. Elon Musk didn't wake up one day and build Tesla and SpaceX overnight. He spent decades learning, experimenting, and improving one small step at a time. His approach? Continuous learning, daily progress, and a refusal to have 0 days. 3. No 0 days for personal growth and learning. Growth happens when you feed your mind with new knowledge and experiences. How to use no 0 days for personal development. Read one paragraph of a book today. Learn one new word in a different language. Write down one personal reflection or journal entry. Spend 1 minute meditating or practicing mindfulness. Over time, these tiny actions lead to massive personal transformation. Example: Warren Buffett's daily learning habit. Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest investors, attributes his success to reading for hours every single day. His philosophy? Continuous learning compounds over time, just like money. 4. No 0 days for relationships and social connections. Building strong relationships doesn't require grand gestures. It's about consistent effort over time. How to use no 0 days for relationships. Send a short message to check in on a friend or loved one. Give one genuine compliment to someone today. Listen actively in one conversation without distractions. Express gratitude to someone in your life. Small, consistent actions deepen relationships and build stronger connections. Example: how Oprah Winfrey builds deep relationships. Oprah is known for her deep and meaningful relationships. Her secret? She makes time every day to connect with people, even if it's just a short conversation or message. 5. No 0 days for creativity and passion projects. Many people dream of writing a book, starting a YouTube channel, learning an instrument, or pursuing a creative passion. But they never start because they think they need more time, energy, or inspiration. The solution? No 0 days. How to use no 0 days for creativity. Write one sentence of your book, blog, or script. Play one chord on the guitar, or sing one verse. Sketch one idea or take one photo. Practice your craft for just 1 minute. Example: how Stephen King became a prolific writer. Stephen King writes every single day, even on holidays and weekends. His philosophy? Consistency builds mastery. Building your no 0 days routine. To fully integrate no 0 days into your life, you need a simple system that makes daily progress automatic. 1. The no 0 days daily checklist. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I take at least one step toward my goal today? Did I improve my health, career, relationships, or skills in any way? Did I avoid making today a 0 day? Write down one small win each day. This builds momentum. 2. The just 5 minutes rule. If you ever feel overwhelmed or unmotivated, commit to just 5 minutes. Write for 5 minutes. Exercise for 5 minutes. Read for 5 minutes. Most of the time, you'll do more once you start. 3. Set up your environment for success. Make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Keep a book on your desk so you read instead of scrolling. Lay out workout clothes the night before so you exercise first thing in the morning. Put your phone on silent while working so you focus without distractions. Real-life success stories of no 0 days in action. 1. The story of James Altucher, how daily writing changed his life. James Altucher, a best-selling author and entrepreneur, used to struggle with self-doubt and failure. One day, he committed to writing 10 ideas every day. No excuses. Years later, this simple habit helped him launch businesses, write best-selling books, and become financially free. The lesson? Daily effort, no matter how small, leads to massive transformation. Practical exercise. Apply no 0 days today. Step 1. Pick one goal. Choose one area of life you want to improve: health, career, relationships, creativity. Step 2. Commit to one small action. What's one thing you can do right now? Step 3. Track your progress. Use a notebook, app, or checklist to track your daily wins. Conclusion: the No 0 Days lifestyle. No 0 Days is more than a productivity trick. It's a way of life. Success doesn't come from occasional big actions. It comes from small, consistent effort every day. Your challenge for today: pick one small action and do it right now. No excuses, just progress. Chapter 7. The Power of Small Wins. Introduction. Why small wins matter more than big goals. Have you ever set a huge goal, felt inspired at first, but then lost motivation because it seemed too far away? This is a common problem. Most people focus only on big goals and ignore the power of small wins. But here's the secret. Big goals feel overwhelming. Small wins create momentum. Momentum leads to success. This chapter will explore the psychology of small wins and why they work, how small achievements rewire your brain for success, how to turn small wins into massive accomplishments, real-life stories of people who built success with tiny steps, practical exercises to start using small wins today. By the end of this chapter, you'll know how to harness the power of small wins to stay motivated, build confidence, and create unstoppable progress. Why small wins are so powerful. Science proves that small daily achievements have a massive impact on long-term success. 1. The brain chemistry of small wins. When you complete a small task, your brain releases dopamine. The reward chemical. Dopamine makes you feel good. It creates motivation to keep going. The more small wins you achieve, the more motivated and productive you become. Example: the Make Your Bed strategy. U.S. Navy Admiral William H. McRaven taught a simple habit. If you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Why? Because starting your day with one small success builds momentum. When you make your bed, you feel accomplished. That feeling carries into your next task, creating a chain reaction of productivity. 2. The progress principle. Why small wins keep you going. Harvard researchers Teresa Amabile and Stephen Kramer studied how people stay motivated. Their research found big achievements are rare. If you wait for them, you lose motivation. Small daily progress keeps you engaged and excited. Even tiny accomplishments increase happiness, creativity, and productivity. How to apply this? Instead of focusing only on the big goal, break it down into small daily wins. Track your progress. Seeing small improvements keeps you motivated. Celebrate small steps. Each win moves you closer to success. How small wins turn into massive success. Success is not about big leaps. It's about tiny, consistent progress over time. 1. The 1% rule. Improve by just a little every day. Author James Clear explains that getting 1% better every day leads to massive improvements over time. Example: the 1% rule in action. If you improve by 1% each day, you will be 37 times better in 1 year. If you get 1% worse each day, you will lose 97% of your potential progress. This means that even the smallest daily effort compounds into extraordinary results. How to use this? Write one sentence today. In a year, you'll have a book. Exercise for just 5 minutes. In a year, you'll be in great shape. Learn one new word in a foreign language. In a year, you'll be fluent. 2. The domino effect. How small wins lead to bigger wins. Imagine a line of dominoes. The first one is tiny, but each one after it gets slightly bigger. If you push over the first small domino, it creates a chain reaction that knocks over much larger ones. Example: how Jerry Seinfeld used the domino effect. Seinfeld didn't become a great comedian overnight. He started by writing just one joke per day. Over time, these small wins built his confidence and skill. Eventually, he became one of the most successful comedians ever. The lesson? Small, consistent wins lead to massive success over time. 3. How to build a winning streak and never lose momentum. A powerful way to keep small wins going is to track your progress visually. Example: the Don't Break the Chain method. Get a calendar or a habit tracker. Every day you complete a small task, put an X on the calendar. Your goal? Never break the streak. Why this works? Seeing your streak motivates you to keep going. The longer your streak gets, the harder it is to stop. Over time, these tiny daily wins turn into habits and success. Action step. Start a Don't Break the Chain challenge today. Choose one small habit and mark it on a calendar every day you do it. Real-life success stories. How small wins changed lives. 1. The story of J.K. Rowling, from rejection to bestseller. Before becoming a world-famous author, J.K. Rowling was a struggling single mother. She didn't write Harry Potter in one day. Instead, she wrote a little bit every day, focused on small wins, one paragraph, one page, one chapter. Eventually completed a book that sold 500+ million copies worldwide. The lesson? Big success starts with small daily wins. 2. The story of James Dyson, 5,126 failures before success. James Dyson, inventor of the Dyson vacuum, spent 15 years working on his idea. He created 5,126 failed prototypes before finally succeeding. How he used small wins. Instead of feeling defeated, he focused on what each failure taught him. Every tiny improvement was a step toward success. His persistence led to a billion-dollar company. The lesson? If you focus on small wins, failures don't stop you, they guide you. How to start using small wins today. 1. Set a tiny, achievable goal. Make it so small that you can't fail. Example. Instead of writing a full chapter, write one sentence. 2. Track your wins. Keep a small wins journal or a progress tracker. Each day, write down one small success. 3. Celebrate every step forward. Even tiny progress is still progress. Reward yourself for consistency. It keeps you going. Conclusion. Success is built on small wins. The secret to achieving big goals isn't about waiting for one perfect opportunity. It's about stacking small wins every single day. Small wins create momentum. Momentum turns into discipline. Discipline turns into success. Your challenge for today. Pick one small action and do it right now. Because success isn't built in a day, it's built one small win at a time. Chapter 8. Overcoming Setbacks and Staying on Track. Introduction. Why setbacks are part of the journey. No matter how disciplined, motivated, or consistent you are, there will be setbacks. You might miss a workout. You might fail an important test. You might lose motivation and stop working on your goals. But setbacks don't mean failure. They are a natural part of success. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is simple. Winners learn from setbacks and keep going. Quitters see setbacks as failure and stop. This chapter will explore why setbacks are normal and how to deal with them, how to stop self-criticism and build resilience, how to get back on track quickly after a bad day, real-life stories of people who turned failure into success, practical strategies to stay on track no matter what. By the end of this chapter, you'll know how to bounce back stronger than ever. Why setbacks are a sign of progress. Most people think that setbacks mean they are failing. But the truth is, every successful person has faced obstacles. The path to success is never a straight line. Setbacks are proof that you are taking action. 1. The growth curve. Success is not a straight line. Imagine success as a staircase, not a straight road. Sometimes you move up, progress. Sometimes you hit a flat step, plateau. Sometimes you slip backward, setback. But as long as you keep climbing, you will reach the top. Example. The story of Thomas Edison. Edison failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." The lesson? Every setback teaches you something. 2. The psychology of setbacks. Why we feel like quitting. When we face a setback, our brain triggers negative emotions. Frustration. Why am I not making progress? Self-doubt. Maybe I'm not good enough. Fear of failure. What if I never succeed? These emotions are normal, but if you let them control you, they can cause you to quit too soon. How to stop self-criticism and stay resilient. The worst thing you can do after a setback is beat yourself up. Self-criticism kills confidence and motivation. 1. Reframe setbacks as learning experiences. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, I learned something valuable. I'm not good enough. Say, I'm improving every day. I messed up. Say, I'll do better next time. This simple shift changes your mindset and keeps you moving forward. Example: how Michael Jordan handled failure. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school team. Instead of quitting, he used the setback as motivation to train harder. His mindset? Every failure brings me closer to success. How to get back on track quickly after a setback. 1. The never miss twice rule. Missing one day is not a big deal, but missing 2 days in a row can turn into a habit of quitting. How to use this rule. Missed a workout? Do a short 5-minute session today. Skipped writing? Write 1 sentence before bed. Broke a healthy eating streak? Make your next meal healthy. One small action prevents the setback from growing into a bigger problem. 2. The what's next mindset. After a setback, don't waste time feeling guilty. Instead, ask, what's next? Failed an exam? What can I do differently next time? Missed a workout? How can I make tomorrow's session better? Lost motivation? What's one small action I can take today? By shifting from regret to action, you regain control. Example: how Oprah overcame setbacks. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job and told she was unfit for television. Instead of giving up, she focused on what's next and built one of the most successful media empires in history. The lesson? Rejection is redirection. Keep moving forward. How to stay on track when life gets tough. Sometimes, setbacks happen because of things outside your control: illness, stress, personal problems. During these times, staying on track requires adjusting, not quitting. 1. Lower the bar, but keep moving. If you're struggling, don't aim for 100% effort. Aim for 1% progress. Instead of skipping a workout, do 5 push-ups. Instead of quitting reading, read 1 paragraph. Instead of avoiding work, spend 10 minutes on it. Small progress is better than no progress. 2. Use the accountability partner method. Success is easier when you have someone to keep you accountable. How to do this? Find a friend, coach, or mentor who supports your goals. Check in with them regularly about your progress. If you fall off track, they help you get back up. Example: how accountability helped Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs partnered with Steve Wozniak when building Apple. They held each other accountable, pushing forward even during setbacks and failures. The lesson? Accountability keeps you committed. Real-life stories. People who turned setbacks into success. 1. The story of Walt Disney, fired for lacking imagination. Before building Disney, Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lacking creativity. He faced multiple business failures. He was rejected over 300 times by investors, but he never stopped pursuing his dream. Years later, he created Disney, one of the most successful entertainment companies in history. Lesson: failure is temporary. Success is built on persistence. Practical exercise: how to overcome setbacks. Step 1. Identify a recent setback. Write down one recent setback or failure. Step 2. Reframe it as a learning experience. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this? Step 3. Take a small action right now. If you missed a workout, do 1 push-up. If you lost motivation, take 1 small step forward. If you failed at something, decide what to do differently next time. Action is the cure for self-doubt. Conclusion: setbacks are stepping stones to success. Every successful person has faced failure, rejection, and setbacks. The difference? They didn't quit. Success is not about being perfect. It's about showing up, learning, and keeping going. Every setback is a lesson. Every lesson moves you forward. Your challenge for today: pick 1 setback, reframe it, and take 1 action right now. Because winners don't quit. They adjust and keep moving. Conclusion: the life-changing impact of no 0 days. Introduction: how 1 small rule can transform your life. You started this book looking for a way to take control of your life, beat procrastination, and achieve your goals. Now, you have the blueprint. At its core, the No 0 Days method is not just a productivity hack. It's a way of thinking and living that can transform every area of your life. This conclusion will summarize the key lessons from the book. Show how the no 0 days mindset leads to long-term success. Give you a final action plan to ensure you never stop progressing. By the time you finish this chapter, you will be ready to apply no 0 days for life. The key lessons from this book. 1. Small actions create big results. Success is not about massive effort once in a while. It's about tiny, consistent actions every day. Even one small step keeps you moving forward. Example: writing one sentence a day leads to a book. 2. Momentum is more important than motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Momentum is permanent. Once you build it, it carries you forward. Example: starting is the hardest part, but once you do, it gets easier. 3. Discipline is the ultimate superpower. You can't rely on motivation to be productive. Successful people develop habits and routines that keep them going. Example: Stephen King writes every single day, even on holidays. 4. Progress matters more than perfection. Perfectionism leads to procrastination. Action leads to improvement. Example: J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter one small piece at a time. 5. Setbacks are part of the process. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. The only way to fail is to quit. Example: Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination but never stopped creating. What happens when you live by no 0 days? If you commit to never having a 0 day, your life will change in ways you never imagined. Your confidence will grow. You'll build unstoppable momentum. You'll achieve things you once thought were impossible. The greatest transformations don't come from one big moment. They come from small daily progress, repeated over time. Final action plan: how to live by no 0 days forever. You have everything you need to succeed. Now, let's turn this into a lifelong habit. Step 1. Pick one goal and start small. Choose one area of your life you want to improve. Take one small action today to move toward it. Step 2. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker, notebook, or calendar. Mark each day you take action, even if it's small. Step 3. Never miss 2 days in a row. Life happens. You will have off days. But remember the never miss twice rule. Always bounce back quickly. Step 4. Celebrate your small wins. Every small step moves you forward. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Step 5. Keep the no 0 days mindset for life. Keep asking yourself, what's one thing I can do today? Success is not about perfection. It's about showing up daily. Final words. This is your moment. You are now at a crossroads. You can choose to go back to old habits, waiting for motivation, making excuses, or you can commit, right now, to a no 0 days life. One small action, every single day. This is how success is built. This is how confidence grows. This is how you change your life. Your challenge for today: pick one thing, no matter how small, and do it right now. No 0 days. No excuses. Just action. Just progress. Just success. Your future self will thank you.